Hey guys, I'm Dimension Jumper, and today I'll be doing my top 5 least favourite galaxies from Super Mario Galaxy 1. Now, as I said before in last week's video on some of my favourite favourite galaxies from Mario Galaxy 1, the game has some really interesting galaxies. They're all really cool ones, and a lot of the mechanics I think hold up quite well in terms of a lot of the galaxies that are used, the whole motion control stuff, the planet's orbital gravity, that kind of thing, and each of the power-ups being used in their own specific galaxies to a certain extent. And in Mario Galaxy 1, there are several bad galaxies that I feel like should have had more potential in a sort of sense, or could have. I don't know. It's just like they're just not fun in my opinion when it comes to some of these galaxies in this list, or could have been improved upon. So to start off with, for number 5 is Snowcap Galaxy. Now, Snowcap Galaxy is a single star galaxy. It's like one of those few galaxies that you find and you can only collect one star, kind of like Sweet Sweet Galaxy or any of the boss galaxies in the game. And the reason why I don't like this particular galaxy is because it's a hide and seek one where you have to find different bunnies, which at the first glance people will think, oh, it's just a general hide and seek style. You have to find bunnies. We've done this before in the start of the game, before you meet Rosalina, so it's fun, right? No, what makes this galaxy really annoying to me is the fact that you're on a timer. So that means you have to find the bunnies, and I think about 60 seconds or 90 seconds. It's one of those times, and that will make this galaxy really annoying and really, really unlikable for me, because it's just always such a chore to find the bunnies, and because the entire galaxy, or the entire planet that you try and find the bunnies is covered in snow, and you can use your controller to move the snow around, as well as if you're using co-op, they can help as well. But it's really annoying when you have a limited amount of time to one, find each bunny, and then two, basically catch them. And the easiest way to try and catch the bunnies is make them go into this sort of circular dome pit thing after you've activated several panels. And I would say that if you want to try and get the star, try and aim the bunnies in that direction where the pit is. It's not that big of a pit, so you can easily just get the bunnies in, catch them, jump out, and then just find the other bunnies in the galaxy. And it's just, yes, it's not a particularly fun one just because of the time limit itself and just everything else in general. For number 4 is Slingpod Galaxy. Now, Slingpod Galaxy is basically a level where you have to try and use all these sling pods to try and reach the star. And again, like with Snowcap Galaxy and how you might want to try and catch the bunnies, it doesn't sound hard at first when you hear about it or when you see the level. Well, in terms of the title. But when you see the galaxy itself, you've got various cannons, you've got fire bars, and you've got these sort of mine asteroid thingies. And yeah, this is, again, really, it can be infuriating at times, because the first part's, I would say, slightly easy. Just avoid the cannons here and there, avoid some of the asteroids. But then it comes the fire bar stuff, because I think towards the end there's 4 fire bars in a square, and you have to try and aim Mario through the fire bars without getting hit. And this is where I always lose a ton of lives, just because of that particular area. The galaxy is okay, I guess, but there could be some improvements here and there. Maybe just I don't know how to improve it. Maybe, but yeah, maybe if it was just take away some stuff here and there and just rearrange some stuff, maybe it could have been better. So yeah. For number 3 is Seaslide Galaxy. Now, Seaslide, I would say, has some interesting stars. I think it has one of my favourite stars in the game. That being a planet, a Hungry Luma planet, where you have to try and get all the nodes on platforms that shrink. That's probably one of my favourite stars in the game. But a lot of the other stars is just water based. Because you've got a silver star, one. You've got a star in which you have to do races. One where you follow a shark, and one where you fight, or basically not fight, race against your own clone, and they're all races, excluding the silver star one. And it's okay, I guess, but there could have been so much more. Like, I don't know, maybe a boss, maybe on a distant planet, maybe like the Hungry Luma star, but different. Maybe there could have been a sort of mini boss sort of sense, instead of just race, silver star, race, something like that. And it could have been something so much cooler or something like that. I don't know. Then you've got the purple comet, in which is basically you collect coins, and that is it. And it's the design of the planet of the galaxy itself isn't bad. It's basically this giant water circling this smaller planet in the middle. The design itself isn't that boring. I think it's quite interesting. It's just there could have been so much more to do with the galaxy itself, instead of just being race, and some other stuff. So for number 2 is Rolling Green Galaxy. Now, Rolling Green Galaxy is a motion control galaxy, and it's one of the few ones you find in the game. And this requires you to appear on a ball that contains the star, and it's basically just getting to the end without dying. And this can be easy, but there are a lot of pitfalls and bombs everywhere and Goombas, and it can be very difficult to avoid them. And yeah, I don't know how. It's an interesting galaxy, I would say, because there is another one later in the game, or another level or something like that does the same thing, but it's all gears and stuff, and that's slightly more interesting. But with Rolling Green Galaxy, is just there, and towards the end you can take 2 paths: a shorter, safer path, or a more dangerous, riskier path. So I feel like if it had more improvements to it, and more maybe take away some of the bombs and Goombas, and replace, and maybe add some more obstacles, maybe instead of the bombs and Goombas, maybe it could have been a bit more challenging. But I think it's one of the first galaxies that you see in the game, so I kind of understand why the galaxy is the way it is. And for number 1 is Bubble Blast Galaxy. Now, Bubble Blast Galaxy is probably one of the worst galaxies in the game, in my opinion, mainly because of the first area itself, and maybe some of the second half of the area. Mainly because you're in this bubble, and in the first half you have to try and find chip shards in order to create the launch star to get to the second half of the galaxy. And each chip shard is in this little mini assault course with fire, electricity, asteroids, that kind of thing. And yeah, it's really not that fun, because the bubble itself is quite floaty, and combine that with the controller, when you have to push the bubble from one side to the other, can be very annoying. And especially in that first area, because you have to try so hard not to hit any of the electricity or any of the other obstacles in that part of the level. And it feels like forever until you actually get to the launch star, and when you created it from the chip shards. And then the second half, I feel like, isn't as bad. It's just gliding Mario towards the star, and it's not as annoying, but it can be annoying in some parts, because you've got bullet bills coming after you. And yeah, and then as well as there are some asteroids as well. And Yeah, I feel like the second half isn't as bad, but I feel like if the first half of the Galaxy, where you have to find the chip shards, were improved a bit, then maybe this Galaxy would have been a whole lot better. So that's been my top 5 least favourite Galaxies from Super Mario Galaxy 1. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.